Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Powertime Practice here on Saturday, the 21st of November, 2020. My name is Sucharita. For those of you who don't know me, wishing you all a very warm welcome. We have skipped a couple of our Powertime practices in the past couple of weeks because we have been enjoying the grace and the blessings of Lord Muruga, the God of the third eye, the God of wisdom. And there were many free live calls at this time slot throughout about 20 days. And then over Skanda Shasti, the 6 days of Muruga, there were various other programs. So people were jumping into those programs, and thank you so much for returning. So tonight we are going to share a little bit about Goddess Lakshmi, because this is a time period in the goddess's evolution. Remember, all the gods and the goddesses want us human beings to help them to evolve so that they can help us. And that's this path that we're on with Dr. Pillai. So we're finding out the secrets and when to pray to the goddess, when to pray to the different archetypes, the angels, the saints, the gods. So this week is on November 24th, Pacific time, is going to be a day to honor Mahalakshmi. So Maha means great, and Lakshmi means the goddess of wealth and health and happiness. And Lakshmi means, it comes from the word Lakshya, which means to direction. So it means to guide you in the direction that you need to go, that is going to be the fastest route to bring prosperity into your life, happiness, all the comforts, beautiful relationships, perfect health. Everything that represents happiness on the earth plane is the goddess Lakshmi. So it's an archetypal energy. It's a consciousness that we can all align with. So just like during the last 6 nights with Dr. Pillai, aligning us with Lord Muruga's grace and blessings during a cosmic event that happens every year at this time, this week we're going to be aligning ourselves in the right direction, being in the right place at the right time, thinking, saying, and doing the right thing to raise the Kundalini energy. That awareness is where we can find out which direction do we look towards to gain wealth and health and happiness and joy and relationships that are healed, and looking for maybe a new job or a new direction in our business or career. Now that we're in COVID lockdown here in Toronto, Canada, we are going to be on lockdown for the next 28 days. So this is a time period for all of us to go inside and pray, for one, that coronavirus doesn't take any more lives or even affect anyone. That's going to happen, but hopefully everyone will recover very quickly. And then wherever that is also happening in your neck of the woods, in your part of the world, God bless everybody. So we need to bring in these archetypal energies that are nothing but our own higher selves. When we're looking up, when we're uplifted, where are we going? We're going into higher states of consciousness. And that's what we're here to do and discover with Dr. Pillai's teachings, is that we are gods, we are goddesses, but we've covered it up with so much fear, anxiety, frustration, anger, doing the same old, expecting different results, feeling so stuck and maybe even depressed, especially during lockdown and COVID, where some of us don't live with anyone else, or we do live with people who we don't get along with. And that is it's a tough one. So we can get some joy and we get some reprieve on the 24th of November, coming up this week. And it's a power day to drive away misfortune. So we're just missing fortune. It's there, but we don't have the right direction. So we need the goddess to show us the direction. And then when we feel that energy inside of us and we feel that joy inside of us, even if it is for a split second, that's all it takes. Like the Bible says, Paul says in the Bible, in the wink of an eye, then the body will turn into light, meaning that you will be an angel, you will be a light body, you will be able to create miracles to come out of your harms and hurdles. It's everyone's birthright, but we've got to get the blessings to unlock the secrets. So to gain wealth and auspiciousness in life, there's going to be Kanakadara chanting, Kamaladharini Bijakshara mantra homa, and the rain of gold hymn chanting and Lakshmi seed sound chanting. That's the translation, the rough translation. So these are sacred hymns that have been passed down for about 5,000 years plus. So these are how these sounds, these rituals make us rich. And it's a way to honor higher evolved aspects of our consciousness. So when we tune in to that divine Wi-Fi connection, we have a clear idea of what it is that we want to create in our lives. Just like when we tune in and if we have dial-up Wi-Fi, oh my God, forget about it. The internet is just so spotty, it shuts off. If we have slow, maybe we'll have some gurgling sounding like we're in a fish tank. Or if we have high speed, super high speed internet, then it's like, no kidding, I'm on and everything is going well. I'm able to communicate with whoever I'm communicating with, or I'm able to access any kind of information that I need instantaneously. So Dr. Pillai says, Lakshmi, of all the goddesses, she represents wealth. Without wealth, everything falls apart. Wealth is very important in everybody's life, not only on the earth plane, but in heaven as well. Like Christ said, Jesus said, God, come on, Dad, God the Father, bring heaven, the kingdom of heaven to the earth plane. Bring that kingdom here as it is in heaven. So that heavenly state is that owning that kingdom within. He took off after he did the big dying on the cross and resurrecting again. He said, you know what? This flesh isn't going to do it. You've got to get into higher states of consciousness. So Lakshmi is also a form of the Holy Spirit. She's a goddess. She's in the spirit and she's holy. So it's a sacred, all these sacred sounds that are going to come through these chanting of hymns by Vedic specialists. You can definitely check it out on Ashrabad Pillai Center. See if that resonates with you. If you want to sponsor those big yagyas, they call them, fire labs, archanas, and so on. So this Mahalakshmi Rising Day is this birth of wealth goddesses. So she came out of the Milky Ocean. So it's like the Milky Way, where the goddess comes out of the space. And this is when Mahalakshmi, the goddess of wealth and fortune, emerged in all her divine grace from the ocean of milk, and it's celebrated on this Mahalakshmi Rising Day. It's the day when the goddess in all her resplendent glory rose from the depths of the ocean, clothed in shining yellow, and her brilliance and divine beauty brightened all the worlds. It makes me happy when I'm just saying that, reading it here. She stepped forth with a golden pot overflowing with grains and gold in her hand. Every year, this day is celebrated on the 11th waxing moon in the Tamil month, Kartige, and it is from mid-November to mid-December, a time period in there when the 11th waxing moon lands. And it's the greatest day of the year to receive her blessings to destroy poverty consciousness. So even if we were to be given, we won the lotto, or we won an amount of money, or we got an inheritance, and if we didn't think about how we would spend that money or how we would invest in it, take that money, invest in something to make it to grow, then it would just go away as fast as it came. It would be leaving us. And that's what happens. They've even done studies of people who have won lotteries, and then they after a few years, like as little as 2 or 3 years, it all goes away. So we have to have the intelligence, the wisdom to hold on to that inheritance, that which we've inherited. And then so the 11th waxing moon is associated with the goddess Lakshmi's consort, and he is the god of heaven with who represents wealth and fortune and protection of all our manifestations here on the earth plane. His name is Lord Vishnu. So what that means is that we have a power time that we can feel that consciousness. So in order for us to hold on to the wealth and the health and the happiness and the comfort and the joy and notice it, observe it in our life as this is fabulous, I want more of it, instead of, oh, I don't have enough. That's what poverty consciousness really is. We're never satisfied. We're always looking for that next thing. We just must have that next thing. And it causes us to spend all our money or waste our energy or waste our resources or waste our time, waste. So we know what happens with waste. It goes into the garbage. So we don't want to disrespect the goddess Lakshmi. So this day is a day where you can tap into her energy and get her fortune, luck, and grace. And it just happens to be during the time when Jupiter is transiting into the sign of Capricorn, and Jupiter represents the guru or the spiritual master, that being inside of us that wakes us up to that higher state of wisdom and says, hey, go and pray to this goddess if you haven't been doing that, and turn your life around. So she makes you to go in the direction of luck, of fortune, of grace. And then you are moving with ease in life. You're happy, you're joyous, even in COVID time. And we hear from so many people who share their experiences, and they can't believe that people around them are upset, their family members, their friends, their social circle, people at work, and they just can't believe that things are happening for them, and they're pretty happy campers. And all these miracles are happening, and it's because they are going to these gods and goddesses, these divine beings. They're really using their time that they would have wasted on Netflix and Doritos, sitting like couch potatoes, just waiting for time to go by. And look at 8 months later, we're in lockdown again, and it's going to be for some more time. And they're even saying that there's going to be a second wave of COVID, which is even going to be worse. So do we want to ride on that wave of fear, or do we want to use our time, our resources, our isolation to really explore poverty consciousness inside of us? What does that mean to us? So some of us are like, what the heck is she talking about? So if you are tuning into this goddess coming into the earth plane, Mahalakshmi, her energy, whether you believe it or not, you tap into that divine Wi-Fi connection, and you've got a clear understanding, just like you get a divine Wi-Fi connection in an airport or in a cafe or somewhere where you're sharing the internet, and you don't necessarily, or you're not really sure if that has if you can get a good internet connection. And all of a sudden it is, and it's like fabulous. So this is the day where she will show you, she will reveal to you inside of you what her energy is all about, and why you are unsatisfied, why you're dissatisfied, why you keep blaming everyone else for your lack of understanding about your own consciousness. So it's not always something that we want to hear, but poverty consciousness is scarcity consciousness. We're afraid. We are scared of everything. And we are also worried, concerned, or we're saying, well, you know, I just want to be a penny pincher. And then doesn't matter how many pennies we've pinched, we still feel like, oh my God, it's always going to be a time period where I can't spend anything. And so that can be a problem too. So it's going to bring us back into balance and rain that gold energy on us, as the hymn says. So Astravad Remedy Center is going to be celebrating Mahalakshmi Rising Day, the birth of the goddess Lakshmi, by performing these grand fire labs with 4 priests chanting her special seed sounds, or bija in Sanskrit, just like you plant the seed of an oak tree. The oak tree is inside the seed. Hello. And then we're going to plant the seed of Lakshmi inside of us and keep chanting her mantra, keep praying to her, keep asking her consciousness to build and grow inside of us. And along with all the pujas, the offerings, the various powerful forms will be invoked to bring wealth, auspiciousness, wish fulfillment, and financial stability. That is a big take home for me, anyways, to share with all of you, is that even though we can go through times in our lives where there are ups and downs and things, the expenses come out of nowhere. Sometimes we have to lend money to family members and we don't get it back. And how do we recover that savings? And with the grace and blessings of the goddess, that always the money is there and the bank account stays above zero, which is pretty darn amazing when the whole world is in debt. You think you're the only one in debt. Every single country is. Hello, that's the consciousness. So we gotta ask the goddess to come into this earth plane and clean all that up. It's not a great consciousness to have. And just because everyone else is doing it, we don't want that. So this is the way out, is the way in, and then to connect with this goddess. She's also the goddess of beauty. So beauty of the mind, beauty of the body, beauty of the soul. And milk is the cow's blood. It comes out of the cow, right? So it's the milk that comes out, which is so nurturing. And that's what we also want to honor inside of us, is that ability to nurture ourselves, even if there's no one else to do it for us, or it seems like there isn't anyone who even has the ability to know what our needs are. So we turn to these gods, we turn to these goddesses, these divine beings, and they become real for us. As Dr. Pillai mentioned recently, make Jesus real, make Allah real, make whoever it is real for you. And that will be the being, that consciousness that will always steer you in the right direction and help you to help yourself. God helps those who help themselves, or Goddess helps those who help themselves. And it is a divine covenant between the humans and the divine beings. It's across the cultures, across the traditions, across the religions, across time, history. Even if you don't know, that's what the sacred scriptures say, is that the gods look to the humans and the humans look to the gods. That is the covenant. It's the vow. It's the connection. It is what we need to do. Whether you believe it or not, whether you even know about it or not, that's what the story is. So that's the game that we're playing here, if you will. That's the game plan. So when we know what the game plan is, then let's get it done. Let's see what we need to do. So there is Mahalakshmi, comes from the depths of this vast ocean of milk when it was churned by the mighty devas, the godly beings, or Dr. Pillai calls devas shiny beings, because they're not in a body, but they're light, they're shining, they're bright. So that when we're meditating, when we're praying, all of a sudden we'll see a flash of light, or if it's a cloudy day, all of a sudden the clouds will part and there will be light beams coming through. Even though the sun isn't there, you can see the clouds parting, and hallelujah, the light beams are shining through, and you're going, oh my God, that's a message from the divine beings. And some people, especially kids or people with their third eye open, they will see these divine beings. So the asuras, or demonic beings, are representing, those emotions, those nasty feelings, those thoughts that come in. Even now, where are they coming in? Feel it in your body. Maybe you're feeling it in your throat. That's where the karma is. So we have to be conscious all the time to raise the Kundalini energy, just like the goddess Mahalakshmi raised herself out of this milky ocean during this churning, where the gods and the demons were having this. They knew that they wanted to get this amrita, which is the nectar it's a divine nectar of immortality, meaning that you'll be youthful forever. You will have vitality, you will have energy. No matter how old you are, you will live on and live a highly evolved life with no pain, no suffering. Who doesn't want that to the very end, right? So this amrita, or nectar of immortality, is what they were trying to get to, these godly beings and demonic beings, the devas and asuras. So using Mandara, which is a huge mountain, as the center rock, he was this serpent king. He was the rod, or as the churning rope. And Mandara was this turtle form of Vishnu. So all these events, these cosmic events, like that which is going on in the Milky Way. That's the Milky Ocean. That's how these ancient seers or sages or siddhas or divine beings here on the earth plane would guide the people. They would look up to the skies and they would say, what's going on up there? Because I'm not really sure how to work it out here. We need some divine intervention because it's not looking too great, especially during dark times when there wasn't even, electricity, or they just had like a candlelight, barely even fire. So, or gas or any kind of fire substances that we have now, heat and gas and electricity and lights and so on. So we've evolved somewhat scientifically, but we are missing the radiation coming from the cosmic events at this time, churning of the ocean. So when it was churned by these beings, this act was performed mainly for obtaining the Amrit, or nectar of divine immortality. The goddess Lakshmi emerged as the third last of 14 treasures produced by this cosmic ocean of milk. So the scripture further says, the Bhagavata Purana says, describes her luster lit the four quarters of the sky. The Devas, Asuras, and Rishis were bewitched by her beauty, her sublime grace, her magnificence as she stepped out of the ocean. So Indra, the king of heaven, offered her the lotus throne, and then the Gandharvas, or the celestial singers, sang beautifully, and the Apsaras, the celestial dancers, danced ecstatically to the divine music. Vishvakarma, who is the celestial architect, gave her divine ornaments. Brahma, the creation archetype, gave her a lotus, which was similar to the one in which he was born out of Vishnu's belly. So all these myths are true forever. And we can imagine the birth of Mahalakshmi coming out of our belly as well. So after receiving accepting the oblations, Lakshmi's eyes looked around, longing to see her consort, the supreme god Vishnu. As soon as her sight fell on him, she walked towards him, laid the garland on his neck that she was carrying, and joined him as his divine consort. So there are many different ceremonies that are going to be going on to honor this goddess, and you're welcome to check that out. There are fire labs, there are chanting, so it bestows wealth, prosperity, abundance, good fortune, removes financial obstacles. So we always bump up against that bottom line. We can't seem to break through, or we can't find another stream of income, or we can't get promoted so that we can get more income. So that's what will happen. Those obstacles will be removed in a very mysterious way. So she also secures happiness, peace of mind. Who wouldn't want peace of mind? You can only fake it so long. Ha ha ha, everything's wonderful, but you're falling apart inside. So she also helps to welcome auspiciousness in life. Does anyone really know what auspiciousness means besides the definition in Webster's dictionary or any other definition through Google search? What is it to you to experience auspiciousness? Just imagine what your life could be as you are going about every day and you're going, that was auspicious, cool, that was auspicious, wow, fabulous, that was auspicious. So that's what miracle consciousness is. It's not, oh, bummer, that's terrible. But out of it came something good, I guess. No, we don't want that story. We want auspicious. I love that word. And she also fulfills our material wishes, our comforts, helps us to achieve our material goals. So projects that are stuck, oh my God, projects that get stuck forever. When we honor the goddess Lakshmi, as I have been experiencing over the past 25 years with Dr. Pillai, honoring her every day at this time, she is the whole year. So for those 365 days, we've honored her, that consciousness inside of us, so it can't steer us wrong. It always steers us in the direction that is going to bring these projects to fruition. Even if you feel like, oh my God, I'm never going to get it completed, or I'm never going to have the right team, or we're never going to get along, this team that seems to be the right team, but we can't get anything done. That's what she will do, because she has more intelligence than us. So she also ensures family welfare and knowledge. So if you're worried about your family members, you're worried about your siblings, your kids, your parents, everybody who's in your close-knit circle, even your friends who are like family, or even distant family, that you heard that they're not doing well, then you can't really jump on a plane and go anywhere because lockdown. So, in Skype or Zoom or WhatsApp is just not cutting it. So she will go to them and bring them joy and comfort in your honor. They don't even have to know what you're doing, but your prayers are really powerful. So she empowers your prayers. We pray all the time, but usually they're neurotic prayers. They're like, oh my God, I really need this. Oh my God, I don't know if I need this. I'm so worried. I'm so concerned. I'm so upset. I'm so mad. Please take this away from me. Please give this to me. So all that stuff is going on from the human perspective, which is true. However, we need to supercharge it, get out of that mosh pit, that cycle that just goes round and round and round, and there's no way out. It's like basket case or us. She comes in and she goes, this is the direction. This is the elevated thought that you have to have. She empowers you. She already knows. God already knows what you want. You've been complaining about it forever. So she takes complaint out of the way and then gives you the blessings and then some. So she will help you to progress in your business and job and your career and so on. So there's desire fulfillment, there's lotus mala offerings. So just check it out and see if that resonates with you, because it really is a power time that you don't want to miss. And if you can't, and we all know, and Dr. Pillai knows, it's not necessarily in people's budget right now. Read it. Knowledge is power, and it will empower you. And people have shared, just reading it, getting into the energy, your heart starts to pump in a way that someone took over my heart because I'm not pumping it. So that's the divine. The divine is the prana, the Holy Spirit, the holy breath that says, I'm making your heart to beat. Because who is making our heart to beat? We're not thinking about it. It's automatic. It has its own beat of its own rhythm. So when the gods or the goddesses come in to our heart, because that's our desire spot, and it says, come up and manifest. Even though we may not be thinking it, that beating, that extra energy and excitement and fear and wonder is like, whoa, I've been possessed by the Holy Spirit. I've been possessed by the goddess. So I must get this done. And if it is participating in chanting at home, there are so many free YouTubes that we've done on Shrim Brazi, the goddess's mantra, that we're also going to go through a meditation today, so you can experience this goddess coming out of the Milky Ocean in your mind's eye, going through the reenacting it as if you were there. And that's what we are here to do. There's storytellers everywhere throughout history. And we have experienced, not too long ago, we were in heavenly states, because that's what spiritual people do. They get on a spiritual path because they remember, hey, there's something wrong with this picture here on the earth plane. And I think I remember, whether it was last year or 10 years ago, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and so on, from the time you were born, is that you knew it was going to be much like it is in heaven, but you had to find a way. And that's what it is here on the earth plane. The soul wants to find a way. It just doesn't want to be told, okay, heaven, you're in heaven, so you can just, snap your fingers and manifest, and snap your fingers and de-manifest. Manifest what you want, snap your fingers and de-manifest. That's boring after a while. So our souls go to this earth plane, three-dimensional plane, where everything is really slow. Right down. to almost stop. And then we say, oh, why? But then we find a way. We find a way out. And that's the grace and blessings of Dr. Pillai, because why else would you be here? But to find out about what his teachings are and how they are going to wake you up, wake us all up to a new state of awareness. So once we're aware of something, then we're looking forward to it. We're like, okay, it's like the holidays are coming up. The holiday season is coming up. We're looking forward to it. Yeah, COVID's happening, but the holidays are happening too. Holy days. So again, it doesn't matter what tradition, what culture, we feel it inside of us, this energy that comes in at this time of the year. And then we experience the shifts. And sometimes it's really super emotional and it's not such a great experience. But then we're here to learn what the karma is and how to find a way out of it, how to forgive, how to forget, how to move on to higher states of consciousness, grabbing onto these divine beings and then filling ourselves up with that eternity and that joy and that happiness. So it really won't matter what anyone has said and done, what you've said and done. It's all said and done. It's so 5 minutes ago. And what you can experience, like they all talk about these days, the now, which is not now as in the present, it's the eternal now. That's the true now. So, and if you turn the word now around, I just thought about this. It's one. You win. You are WON. You are there, present, succeeding. You have met yourself. You have felt like, whoa, I am a winner. I am, with that higher state of being. So as it is above, so it is below here, but it's flipped. So even in the way we perceive our life, there's always going to be these signs or these messages that are coming through right in the moment. The knowledge comes and we didn't even know it was there. And that's exciting. That's the adventure of the soul. So without further ado, let's get into a little bit of a meditation process where we can experience the goddess coming into our lives. And so what I wanted to share with each and every one of you is this book. It's called Tools from the Other Side, and it's by Dr. Pillai, Dattatreya Shiva Baba, Life-Changing Sounds. And it's got this cover here, and it's got the siddhas, the divine beings who have turned their body into light, and much like Christ, they could create miracles, and they brought a lot of science, technology, healing energies into the earth plane, and all the sacred teachings are coming through them. So that's the lineage that Dr. Pillai hails from. His spiritual masters, our grandfathers or our grandmothers on the spiritual path. So I wanted to take you through a process where you can experience the goddess coming in. And in this experience, trying to imagine yourself going to that eternal moment. So if you will, just humor yourself. Just say, you know what else can I do? I could watch Netflix and I could eat Doritos and sit on the couch like a couch potato and feel really low and drained of my energy and oh, woe is me. Or because we're here on a Saturday and Saturn rules Saturdays, he is the spiritual master who shines us up from coal-like state of being into shiny diamonds and then removes the karma so that we experience freedom. That's what being inspired is. It's experiencing freedom, even if we are in lockdown. And oh my God, there's so many people who are concerned about us here in Canada and in other places as well. And they're saying, oh my God, be safe. And I will pray for you. And I was like, whoa, you better just take care of yourself over there. Yes, COVID is going on, but like Dr. Pillai said, and so many doctors say, I know so many medical doctors around the world, virologists, any doctor has said, not really sure about this COVID. Yes, it can be deadly, but most people are recovering. That's what we want to look at. We want to look at in our lives. Why are we going towards fear? Why are we going towards anger? Because that will keep perpetuating it. And we will manifest that which we keep thinking about collectively. So congratulations, all of you who are here, because you're saying, you know what? I want to think about something else. I want to have a time out of this. And then I want to not only just be entertained maybe a little bit, I want to go into those states of consciousness because that's my birthright. And being with the spiritual master, Dr. Pillai will guide our souls. How else did we know how to get here? He pinged us. So this is the time period where we use this technology that we have. And then it becomes a divine means in which we can all experience a journey within. Collectively, we can open up, expand the consciousness because we're from all around the world. So if we hold hands energetically or etherically or virtually, then we are creating a network, a net of people who are light workers. The divine loves that. It's like SOS to the divine and oh, hey, what's going on there? And then our vibration will raise. So as Dr. Pillai says, you never know what you just did. Even if you think I had the world's worst meditation, I couldn't focus, couldn't do anything. You came here, you absorbed the message at the level of your soul. How do you know your soul is thinking? You can't, because it's not coming from the human mind. It's coming from the divine mind. You can feel something. You may have a vision. You may have an experience of joy, of happiness. You may have this poison, like this vomit coming out, because that's what happened too, is the poison came out. Shiva drank the poison so that no one else had to drink it. But that's another story. So we are going to honor the goddess today, clear up some karma today, so that when her rising comes on the 24th, as per Eastern Standard Time or Pacific Standard Time, then you can tune in, maybe do some chanting or participate in the services that are offered through Pillai Center or Ashrabed, and check it out. There's Black Friday deals right now happening. So that's a blessing from the goddess too. I love it when we get deals. So let's get into it. I'm going to be taking everyone through the process as per Dr. Pillai. So know that he's guiding you. I'm just the mouthpiece. So close your eyes and put your attention internally. We're going to call on Ganesha to remove the obstacles for the Kundalini energy that arises from the bottom of the spine, and it pierces all the energy centers, the psycho-spiritual centers. Must understand that. It's you, it's your psychology, it's your spirituality, it's nobody else's. And you don't have to explain yourself to anyone. You don't have to defend your spiritual path or your experience. You don't have to justify anything that you see, do, feel. It's you. It's up to you and the divine. So the Kundalini energy is going to help you to get into a higher state of consciousness as it rises up. And you're going to feel Mahalakshmi rising up. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Nirvignam Kuru Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Nirvignam Kuru Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Nirvignam Kuru. Now feel the energy moving up in waves of light and vibrations of the sounds, moving up your spine in your subtle body, your energy body, piercing all the chakras, releasing anything that is no longer serving you. As the light goes up, the energy goes up into your third eye, into the middle of the brain. Imagine Dr. Pillai appearing before you in a form you're familiar with, or a light. Be embraced by the light and the spiritual transmission, or darshan, radiating out of Dr. Pillai. It's pure love, pure divine love. Moving into your eyes, fill them with love and light. Moving into your ears, piercing your eardrums, filling them with light and love. The brain is filled with light and divine love. The nostrils are filled with love and light. The mouth is filled with love and light. The tongue is dancing with love and light. The throat is filled with light and divine love, purifying the karma in the throat, releasing it, replacing it with love and light. The top of the head, the crown chakra, opens up like a satellite dish of love and light, receiving it, filling the brain, filling the nervous system, firing up your body from head to toe with love and light. Guru's grace. Om Dram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Om Dram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Om Dram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Now, I'm going to take you step by step into a meditation that involves using many deep archetypal symbols. Lakshmi herself is an energy giving you direction. The word Lakshmi in Sanskrit has many meanings, but one of the primary meanings is that it gives direction. It's important to have direction. If you don't have direction, you will not go anywhere. So Lakshmi is going to give you direction that you need for squaring things away. This is a very, very ancient science. Close your eyes, ignore all your thoughts. Thoughts will come and go. You're not going to identify yourself with any of the thoughts. Let them check in and check out. Don't move your body. Keep your body still as possible. Think of a mountain which never moves. Imagine yourself as a mountain. Don't move. The mountain does not move. The mountain represents the highest consciousness as it is quite still. That's why gods are said to live in the mountains. In Sanskrit, mountain is akala. Mountain, mountain, mountain. Akala, akala, akala. These sounds are very important for the unconscious. Don't move. Don't move. Imagine the mountain has two broad wings. Now the wings are spread. Imagine the wings being cut off from the mountain so that the mountain cannot fly. Now the wings are cut off. Akala, akala, akala. Perfect non-movement. Now, you're going to experience movement. Visualize a milky ocean, an ocean full of milk. Picture an ocean, not of salty water, but see an ocean of white milk. The waves are white, milky white. It is a white, endless, milky ocean. In the middle of this milky ocean, you see some movement right in the middle. You see some bubbles. From out of this ocean of milk, you see the goddess Lakshmi coming out from the depths of the ocean. She has a light body. She's very radiant. Her body is gold in color. Her body is pure gold. And you see the radiance from out of the milky ocean. She's coming out. She's sitting on a sweet smelling lotus flower. You look at her crown. She's wearing a golden crown. Look at her face. She's very beautiful. She has 4 arms. She's sitting on a lotus flower. Now, her eyes are closed as she fully emerges out of this milky ocean. And then she's opening her eyes. She looks at you. And as she looks at you, 2 rays of light emerge out of her eyes and fall into your eyes. You're transformed. You are now in communion with the goddess Lakshmi. Receive her energy. Square away your consciousness. The other things happening right in this Milky Ocean, you see by the side of Lakshmi on her right side, an elephant. This elephant is a magical white elephant. You see another white elephant on her other side. A little further away, you see a money tree coming out of this ocean. You go close to the money tree. The leaves are golden. The money tree has the ability to grant your wishes. Just go and hug the tree. And you're going to go and talk to the golden leaves. Now make a prayer to the leaves in the money tree. You want the tree in your own house. You pray to the tree to give you abundance, material abundance, abundance in terms of money, for you need abundant money to live here on this earth plane. Now you see another phenomenon taking place, and this is a moon coming out of this Milky Ocean, a full moon. The moon is rising up out of this Milky Ocean. It goes right up into the sky, this big full moon rising. Now you see something else taking place right on this Milky Ocean. You see a magical white horse. The horse has wings like Pegasus. It looks so beautiful. Now you have all these images of Lakshmi looking at you. The rays of light from Lakshmi's eyes are beaming into your eyes. And now listen to the sounds. Receive them. Shreem. 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 Shring. Shreeng. Shring. Shring. Siriam. Sirium. Siriam. Siriam. Siriyang. Siriyang. Siriyung. 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 You're squaring your consciousness. It's getting completed as you chant these 4 sounds. Visualize a square. At the bottom of the square, on the left side of the square, the bottom left side, chant Shreem. 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 Now, the top of the square, Shreem. 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 The right side of the square, Siriyam. 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 The left side of the square, Siriyang. 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 Now your consciousness is squared away with Shreem, Shreeng, Siriyam, Siriyang. Receive the light from Lakshmi's eyes. Square away your manifestation, your ability to create, your ability to materialize something here on the earth plane. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Peace to the body, peace to the mind, peace to the soul, peace to the environment, peace to the world. Keep your eyes closed. Now that you've squared away in your consciousness the goddess Lakshmi through the secret sounds to materialize, to create, to be the creatrix. Visualize her in your third eye, in your heart, or anywhere else you would like a healing, or ask her to remove scarcity consciousness. Shreem Brzee. She's rising from the Kundalini energy, the base of the spine, activating all the chakras. The Lakshmis are coming alive, giving you direction to achieve your goal. Right up into the third eye. She's rising. Shreem Brzee. Her consciousness explodes beyond your body, goes out in all directions, goes out into all dimensions. Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee. Keep focusing on your third eye, on your heart center, or any of the chakras in your subtle body. And like a lullaby, sing to the goddess inside you and in other realms beyond you. Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee. Be still. And again. Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee. Be still. Again. Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee. Be still and slowly, slowly let go. As you're coming back to yourselves, make a prayer to Dr. Pillai and all the divine beings, including yourselves, for supporting this practice of communing with the goddess, preparing yourself to receive her blessings coming soon as she rises inside of you and rises into the earth plane. Bhumi is the goddess Lakshmi. Bhumi means earth. We need the goddess energy of the earth to heal itself, heal everyone on the planet, bring more peace and harmony, communion with nature, and relax. Make a prayer to Dr. Pillai for guiding your soul, awakening you to the goddess of fortune, luck, and grace. Lovely to see you all here. Laura's asking, how do we spell the mantras, please? Okay, so I have to give you those mantras. Fabulous, will do. So the first mantra is Shreem, S-H-R-E-E-M. And maybe Radha, if you're here, or whoever is on Pillai Center Practice, that'd be great. So Shreem, S-H-R-E-E-M, and then Shreeng, S-H-R-E-E-N-G, S-H-R-E-E-N-G. That's the second sound. Then Siriyam, as in Siri, tell me how to get to. So S-I-R-I-Y-U-M. S-I-R-I-Y-U-M is the third sound. And then the fourth sound is Siriyang. S-I-R-I-Y-U-N-G. S-I-R-I-Y-U-N-G. How do we imagine Chua Chan is saying here? Not really sure what that means. TGE. Anyone else have any questions? Oh, the square box. Okay, that's a good question. So we're going to square our consciousness, and how we do that is we visualize the square. So at the bottom of the square is going to be the Shreem. So that's the bottom line. And then the top line is Shreeng. And then the right side of the square is Siriyang. So it's this. And then the left side is Siriyang. So it's Shreem, Shreeng, Siriyam, Siriyang. We'll give that to you in the recording. You can just fast forward it to this point. And then I think we're going to send that to you, as well as perhaps we still have these books available. It looks like they are rupees. So probably in India, we still have some of these books. Fabulous. Really fabulous. So we'll see if we can get you that information, and then also we will put all this information into the newsletter, right? Radha? So those are the sounds, and we'll get that to you. All right, so how did everyone do with Skanda Shashti? OMG. I mean, not that we want to talk about the past, but hey, wasn't that an eye-opener, a third eye-opener? So many people have shared that they couldn't afford to do participate in any of the services or the courses. However, they joined the free calls that were on Pillai Center Practice YouTube every night, and so many miracles happened. So that's why we're saying God only knows what you can or cannot do. And Dr. Pillai knows where your soul's evolution is. So we should never think, oh, I'm going to be left back. No one is left behind. There is no behind with the soul. It's only present to what it can do. So during COVID, if you do anything spiritual, the divine is just going to open doors for you. Just like when people give you free cars, or they give you free houses, or they give you a mansion to live in for really little rent or lease, free trips to places, although we can't go anywhere anymore, it seems, or just anything free. It's like, whoa, how did that happen? Because you're in that positive state. And that's how miracles you gravitate to miracles. Miracle consciousness is always there. It's our birthright to have everything given to us. We've just messed it up along the way, and that's called karma. And it's your mindset. You're set in this, I'm destined to have this because of my parents and because of my religion, my political beliefs, my bank account, my health, and that all may be true. But doesn't that get to be a boring story? Over and over again, we just keep complaining. So we kind of get to that point where we just can't take it anymore. So many people say, I'm so sick and tired of talking to myself this way and talking to other people. It's just a boring story. So at least, or at most, you can just tune out and participate in these free services. And then out of nowhere, the money came for some people to get into the Third Eye program, the initiation with Dr. Pillai, which happens to now be a Pillai Center Academy course, which I heard from someone who said that they couldn't do it live, but now the money came and they're going to do it as an evergreen program. So you will still get the teachings that were captured in the moment that will activate your third eye, regardless of the time slot is over. In the cosmic scheme of things, you're tapping into eternity. We get all messed up with timing here on the earth plane. So many doors have closed for us when we have thought, oh my God, I'm never going to get that job, or I'm never going to have a beautiful relationship, or I'm never going to find a life partner or a husband or wife or spouse, whatever it is that you're looking for. And all of a sudden, the door opens. And it's like, whoa, I'm a different person. And it's regardless of the time. You don't even care about it anymore, because then things start to happen for you. And you just move forward from there. So that's what's happened to people, is the money comes out of nowhere. And if it came out of nowhere, that is to them a miracle. And that is a blessing from the goddess, because you participated in the chanting based on what your bank account could afford or not. So that's how we know, okay, if this money came out of nowhere, then I've got to honor her. And then, or the god, in the case of Lord Muruga, the third eye initiations, or there are Muruga courses. We just went through the Muruga immersion course and activated all the chakras. And the 2018 course, whoa, we blew it away, man. It was awesome. Very well attended. Thank you all for attending. It was so fabulous. And thanks to Swami Nivali, one of the Pillai Center teachers, also Vedic astrologer, and to Radha here in Powertime Practice, Bhairavi here in Powertime Practice, and any other of the teachers who jump in, and all of you who are participating in continuously thinking about your divine birthright, which is mantras, meditations. It's staying on your spiritual path. It knows, you know, that it is the only thing that is going to help you to navigate these very tricky times with grace and ease. So you'll be in the right place at the right time, thinking and saying and doing the right things. And we'll think, my God, that's a miracle that happened. And you'll have all this energy. So that is the main thing that I've experienced in the Skanda Shasti, was energy on steroids. Like it's like, how come I'm still awake? I've been awake for 23 hours of these 24 hours, and I have still more things to do. How is that happening? It is beyond my mindset. It's blown that destiny up. That said, oh, you don't have any energy. You can't do everything. You can't participate in all these things. You can't afford it. That's my old monkey mind going, oh my God, Skanda Shasti, it's so expensive. It's so this, it's so that. Oh my God, I have all these other things. That just got blown away. And the energy is there. So we're breathing, we're birthed into a new consciousness. So wealth rising, this Lakshmi consciousness that is going to be rising in the cosmic scheme of things in the events, the Milky Ocean, the Milky Way, just Google it. Hindu or Indian gods, goddesses, Milky Way, stories, mythology, you will be blown away. So this is forever eternal. Myths are forever, and it's mythotherapeutic. It's therapeutic for your soul. How do we soothe our soul so that we can find our soulmate, so that we can find our soul group, so that we can be supercharged with intelligence, regardless of what anyone says to us, regardless of what we say to ourselves? That's more problematic, at least for me. So people will say, oh, Sutrine, I don't feel like that. But you just get beyond all that, even the accolades or the tomatoes in your face. It doesn't matter anymore. You don't want to make that materialize. So that's just going to go on. That's a mosh pit of the monkey mind, destined to just keep going round and round and round and make you so dizzy that you do pass out, or you're on the couch watching Netflix. Not to say that Netflix isn't kind of cool. Just don't do it for hours and hours. Do your spiritual practice for those hours and see who you will be. So we're here to keep the light going, keep you inspired, keep you full of joy, have a time out. So I went into Indigo to buy my Bible. Oh, that's another thing. Dr. Pillai is doing a Bible talk on Facebook. So I got a purple Bible. I was thinking of Lakshmi, and I love purple. So I got a purple Bible today, and Dr. Pillai is going to do Bible study tomorrow. So that's going to be Pillai Center Facebook. If someone can post that here on the chat, that would be super fabulous. So that is going to be at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, or maybe it's Pacific Time. Can someone please check that on Pillai Center? I'm going to try and check it in my office. Free live events. Oh. Does someone know what that is? So it's on Facebook, and it is going to be Bible study with Dr. Pillai. He's starting tomorrow, which is the 22nd. It's a Sunday. And I believe it's going to be at noon Eastern Standard Time. So please check that out. I'm not seeing it here. I did see it. Okay, I don't want to be distracted. Oh, it's 9 a.m. Pacific Time, Mala is saying. Thank you so much, Mala. So it's that means noon, 12 p.m. noon Eastern Standard Time. So that is something that we all can do. It's free. And then get the blessings from Dr. Pillai. Again, he's going to dive deep into this. This is the word, and the word is with God. So he goes across the cultures, across the traditions, and gives us the essence. So I was raised with the Catholic tradition, Christian tradition. I didn't have a clue. I was like, what? I went to catechism school. We prayed every day. I went to private schools, all girls schools, all the Catholic schools, all the way through high school to grade 13 at that time. And I was more confused than ever. And so when I got on this journey with Dr. Pillai, it was like, whoa, he awakened that desire to go and explore the tradition that I was born into in a whole new way. So I started, when I would go to church or mass, or I would go to weddings or funerals, I started to see Shiva there, Lakshmi. I'd see all these archetypes, Ganesha. What are you doing here? This is where Jesus hangs out with the saints and Mary and all this. And you can see Jesus on the altar there. So these are archetypes, these are joy, they're divine beings, and they're saying, hey, God's not a killjoy, and my God isn't better than your God. My religion is not better than your religion. That's where wars start. Oh my God, it's so political sometimes. Don't get me going. So Dr. Pillai is going to help us to dive into the teachings of the Bible in a whole new way that is going to awaken that consciousness that was dead to me. It was like, close the book, throw it. I was a teenager back then. But anyways, it was really problematic. And then getting on this path with Dr. Pillai, like a lot of us, we had to recover from that. And then, whoa, getting into idol worship and things like that. And it's like, well, why not? There's idols of statues of Jesus, statues of Mary, statues of the saints, statues of all the beings who were part of the Christian movement. So I think we were kind of confused, and probably, I can't say for everyone, I met so many people from different walks of life, different traditions. I live around everyone from a different culture, different religion, different tradition, and we all just are happy to be diving into our own spiritual practices. So it really is a head scratcher for a lot of people until they start to awaken the consciousness inside of themselves, which is the breath. And the breath of life comes from the expression, the word. And the word is, in this case, the Bible. This is the teaching. So the word in the tradition, the Indian tradition, is the mantra. So we're going to protect our mind from everything I learned about this to date, throw that all away, and dive into it. So every time we go into a teaching or into anything that we do, we must be like a child and wonder, how am I presenting myself in this moment with this person who I woke up next to, or who I'm meeting, or who I'm going to be on Zoom with, or who I'm going to be at the store with. So I went to this Indigo chapters, and I'm putting my mask on, and I'm putting the little, the hooks behind the ears, that doesn't really do anything. But anyways, so I'm putting it on. All of a sudden, this person yells at me, "Ma'am, stand back. Put your hands down. Put that mask on. Put your hands up." I was like, whoa, whoa. And I said, please relax. I said, I'm okay. I'm going to put my mask on here. But this woman, it was almost like she was possessed with some asuric energy. I think it was probably poison time, Rahu time, coming to think of it. Anyways, I went to go get my Bible, and I had that interaction, and she said, "You must do what I say." And I said, whoa, relax. I had to say relax 3 times. And I wasn't upset. I was more concerned that, whoa, this girl is like losing it. And then also I have to be making sure that I'm like, not feeling triggered. So all this is happening all at once. And then the guard, who happened to be from Tamil Nadu, she was smiling at me, and she said, "Oh, you handled yourself so well." And I said, "Is she okay? Like, this could be the way in which we are going to be presenting ourselves in any moment. We could be triggered." So with the word, when we read the Bible, or we read sacred scriptures, or we sing mantras, or sing hymns, or participate in services, we participate in our meditation. Even if we're like, what? Where's that line going? What's that sound? That's the mind. But we have to be as still as a mountain, unshakable in our faith. What is faith? Pop quiz, everyone here. What is faith? I'm going to wait till it pops up onto the chat. You can put your answers there. So we have to have unshakable faith, unshakable in our emotions. How dare she speak to me like that? I should throw a book at her and go buy my Bible and throw it at her. Nazila, 100% positivity. Awesome, Elizabeth. Awesome. What is faith? It is utter positivity. It's 100% positivity. Absolutely. You guys are awesome. Sue is saying Babaji is faith because he's absolutely positive. He knows the people who are going to come to him, who are just going to have faith regardless of whether they know what the heck is going on, what he's saying, what the heck is a meditation, what are the teachings, why is there an elephant with 4 arms? Huh? That's the positivity. It's not emotional positivity. It is you are so aligned that you're unshakable. No one is going to shake your trust in your own truth. And then you carry that wherever you go. So Mira is saying faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Unconditional trust, Surti is saying, yes, all are true. A+ for everybody. So I think that's what I wanted to share today with everyone. I hope you had a beautiful experience with the goddess. You will look forward to her energizing you as she comes into the earth plane, and you can pray for anyone. You just don't want to be attached to it. You don't want to get into too many people's karmas. So she will just move you away. That's what she does. She redirects you. That's the goal, is to put you in the right direction so that you're receiving always positivity and all empowerment, inspiration, wealth consciousness. You're not afraid. You're not scared. You don't have scarcity. You already have enough. You're concerned, but you're not going to get into it. It's like, relax. Oh my God. So life is a breezy. That's right. Life is a breezy. I love it. TM. So we've gone through a Jupiter transit that happens once a year for 12 months. So the 12 months ahead of us, starting from November 20th, I believe it was, Jupiter is in Capricorn. That's a really powerful place. We'll talk about it next week, perhaps. Otherwise, you can read about it. It was more important to bring in Guru's grace, which is, he's now in Capricorn, which is the natural 10th house. So that's all about your purpose in life. Where is fortune, luck, and grace? That's Jupiter. There's all these beautiful yogas that are happening that will help you to live out your fortune, to live out a grace and ease of life, the energy flowing through you, to go and get higher teachings. Hello, if you were raised in or not in this tradition, go check it out with Dr. Pillai. Go learn how he's going to teach you how to read the word of the Bible, and get a fancy purple one. I love this. And it's like a leather. It's so nice. And it was like the only one there. So I went, oh, of course, that one's for me. So, and also the purple, this purple color is like the color of Lakshmi. Eggplant purple is the color that Lakshmi, the color hue, all the divine beings, like Muruga was red. And even though Lakshmi in this meditation came as a golden, shiny being, if you're really meditating and you go into your third eye, you go into your heart, you go into your chakras, you start to see this purple color, like is in the picture with Dr. Pillai. That means Lakshmi consciousness is there for you. So bringing you fortune, luck, and grace is what this Jupiter is going to do. It's going to raise your awareness of bringing it into your life. So you have a purposeful life. Maybe you'll get a raise or a promotion, or you'll get out of a job that you hate. You're just there for the paycheck. It will steer you in a direction where you will be more wise in your decision making about what you want to do with your time and energy and resources. Maybe you want to work online and you become a contractor and you work less time and you get more and you do more and you're fulfilled because you have more freedom in your day. So you start to see how Capricorn is a sign of the earth plane, and Jupiter being there is Nichabanga. It's this yoga that says naturally in the astrology a way of looking at Jupiter in Capricorn, it's kind of debilitated, but now as it's moving through there, it is going to get that canceled out, so that we are going to have Guru's grace. Jupiter is Guru in Sanskrit. So we are going to have the wisdom coming to us. We're going to know, hey, go study this. This is going to help you. This is going to give you miracle consciousness. And this is the way to do it. So regardless if you're hesitating or you're still recovering from Christianity or Catholicism like I am, just do it. Go beyond your ego that says, oh, been there, done that. Go do it. Guru is saying, hey, this is it. You never know. So look at your life in wonder and awe as a brand spanking new soul coming to the earth plane saying, hey, what's next? What do I do next? All right. So God bless you all. Thank you so much for joining. And please send your experiences into programs@PillaiCenter.com or office@PillaiCenter.com, and then they will know what we can give back to or feedback to Dr. Pillai. He always asks, how are the power timers? And we get to say, hey, everyone's doing great. So we'll see you tomorrow with Dr. Pillai's Grace and Blessings, free. Come to that, Facebook. And then perhaps if people aren't joining Facebook, which I don't really dive into Facebook in a way that I'm on it every day, every second of the day, like a lot of people. Like I joined Facebook and I don't do anything else but have access to Pillai Center. So that's how I use Facebook, because otherwise I would be lost in it and then I wouldn't get anything else done. That's the only reason. So God bless you all. Thanks again, everyone, for joining, and we'll see you when we see you next. Namaste.